Hey guys, Jess here with CFit Studio. Want to remind you on this fine morning to keep movement in the forefront of your mind, not only while you're in the gym doing a squat, doing a deadlift, doing a push-up, doing an overhead press, but when you're walking to the car, when you are sitting down on a chair, on a couch, even on the toilet, when you are standing in line at Food Lion. Basically, you want to have your movement work for you. A lot of times we spend our entire days like this, and we don't think about what it is that we're doing and how that is affecting our body. Now, that does not mean that I'm asking you guys to put movement so far into the front of your mind that you're literally thinking about it all day, every day. You know, you hear those words, muscle memory. That's essentially what we're talking about. So at first, it'll take a little bit more active effort, but what you want to do is you want to basically think about if how you're moving is helping your joints, keeping you fresh and spry. So when you sit down on the couch or even the toilet, are your knees tracking in line with your toes? Just like if you would do a regular squat with a kettlebell, you want to make sure the way you're sitting and standing is serving you. Because over time, if you're currently squatting and you're always, knees forward, whether you're sitting on the couch or, the toilet. I love that example. It's just funny. But it's going to hurt your knees, right? So you always want to make sure that you're sitting your hips back. If your feet are always out while your knees are always in, that's going to hurt your knees. Maybe not now, maybe not 100 reps from now, but eventually your knees are going to be like, I've been trying to tell you I don't like it and you're not listening, so now I'm just going to have to rip a tendon, stuff like that. So when you are walking, I've recently been diving feet first, pun intended, into the minimalist shoe movement. If you are a friend, you know that I've been going really hardcore with all these minimalist sandals, kind of driving myself and everybody else crazy. And I'm buying tennis shoes like that. And the whole premise behind it, and there's a lot of science to support it. I mean, it's newer science because we're finally looking at it, but excuse me. Like the way we walk, the more our shoes are supportive and the more comfortable and the more like a pillow our shoes are, it changes the way we walk. We tend to heel strike instead of, land with our toe or the ball of the foot, which, believe it or not, the arch of our foot has 9 muscles in it. If you walk across a gravel driveway barefoot, you're not going to slam your heel down. That'll hurt. You walk with the ball of your foot. That way, if you need to react, you can, right? And so it increases, I think, I'm not going to go say a stat because I'm going to say it wrong, but I want to say like tens of percents, like 10, 20, 40, maybe even, percent impact on your joints and body when you heel strike versus when you strike with the ball. So basically, how are you walking? That long-winded blah, 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 I'm going to stop myself before I get too deep, is all about having intention and keeping your movement with regards to walking in mind. Are you striking with the ball of your foot, not your toe? You're not walking on your tippy toes. It's like, or are you slamming the heel down? Are you just going to walk to pick up a coffee and you're marching like you're on the way to court? It's like, we shouldn't really be slamming our feet down like that, So just be aware of how you're moving and how you're feeling and what you notice. When you're standing in line at Food Lion, a lot of times, Homo sapiens, we all tend to shift our weight onto one side, and then ironically, that's usually the side that we're holding all our groceries in, or the basket. I use a basket a lot, or we got our purse. If you're a lady, wearing it all on the same side. If you're a guy, you might be wearing the satchel all on the same side, so it's kind of messing up your alignment up in here. Whatever, So the point is your movement inside the gym when you're working hard should never be mindless. And when you're out and about, you should kind of keep an idea of how you're moving as well. That way, when stuff does happen, and it will happen, things are going to react quickly. You're going to have to get up and run. You're going to forget about something in your car. You're going to have to pivot. Make sure you're pivoting on your toe, not keeping your foot flat, which means your knees are going to right? Because you didn't pivot properly. So when you have, the movement in the forefront of your mind, then when it counts, when you have to move fast, when you have to run, when you have to go save something or someone, an animal, a kid, when you drop something, you go to catch it, whatever. You don't have time to think about your movement. You develop what we all know as muscle memory. And that's the beauty, because then we get to have our just movement support our life. And people who go and they turn and they quick and they throw out their back, that's because they're not thinking about it all the other time. So then when it matters, they forget, their body doesn't do what they're supposed to. So anyway, so you get the point. The point of today is just keep movement in mind. Make sure that every single rep that you're doing during your workout is intentional. You're not just banging it out, getting it through. You're not doing a deadlift and you pick it up all pretty, right? And then you get on the last rep and you're like, oh, finally done, right? No, you pick it up. What did we just practice with deadlifts? Picking stuff up and putting stuff down, right? So if you pick it up, just because it's your last rep, set it down just as pretty, right? Don't collapse just because it's the last rep, because that's the point. We're trying to create muscle memory. So your homework until the next video that I make, whenever it will be, is to practice that. You know, practice the good posture, practice the breathing, the bracing the core. Pay attention to how you're standing when you're in line at Food Lion or any other grocery store or wherever. You know, make sure you're not just shifted, you're kind of balanced. Make sure you aren't tilted, you know. Are you striking with the heel or the ball of your foot? You know, are you pivoting on your toe? Or are you keeping your foot flat when you turn different directions? So just let your movement serve you, and you might find you're a little bit more springy, you know, you have a little bit more energy. A lot of times you can have a lot of energy and a lot of momentum and stuff, even when you're tired, and Lord knows we're all tired today. And it's all about keeping movement in mind so that you can move safely. All right, so if you guys have questions, reach out to me. That's what we're here for. I kind of feel like I'm kind of going long-winded, but I've just seen, you know, a lot of people lately just kind of go through the motions, throwing themselves around, just waiting to be done and over with, you know, and especially, of course, you know, with the workouts, because I'm a trainer, but also just in life, you know, they're just going to stomp their way over to the couch and flop down. No, don't do that. You know, that way, when you do need to flop down or you fall down or whatever, you know, your body knows how to properly go into that position, because practice makes permanent. Practice doesn't make perfect. However you practice it, which means whatever you do throughout your daily life, that's what your body will do when push comes to shove. All right, I'm gonna shut up now. Have a great weekend, guys. If you have any questions, reach out, and I will try to be a little bit more frequent with these guys. I usually start off strong and then I peter out, and I'm beginning to peter, so I'll try to climb back up the mountain. And y'all have a great day. Thanks. Bye.